Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is Chance Ball, Chapter 63, and this one is titled Doctor's Office. I see, she said, both hands on her keyboard as she jotted down some professional notes. I know this might come as a stupid question, but I need to ask it. Are you practicing intercourse in the traditional sense? No, we only ever go through the back end. Dabi cut in a loud voice. Oh my god, please ignore him, you said quickly, shooting an arm out across his chest to stop him. Yes, we're doing it the right way, you replied quickly. I just need to rule that out, the doctor said with a polite smile. Now, how long have you been trying to conceive for? You looked at Dabi for his help. Years, he said. No, you stopped him, as in actually trying. Oh, few months. I think 6? You looked from him to her. 6 months. I know it's technically not a long time, but still. I've been able to fall pregnant once before, but then I lost the baby. I'm sorry to hear that, the doctor said, still typing away. Sometimes after a miscarriage it's a little harder to fall pregnant, but please don't be too concerned at this point. How often are you having intercourse? Lots, Dabi said. One time we did it 5 times a day. God, you groaned softly with embarrassment. I'm sorry, please ignore him, you said to the doctor, who seemed completely unfazed by Dabi's brash comments. Okay, she said, finishing up her typing. When was your last period? I'm due to have my next one, next week or something, you said. Okay, well, I'm just going to give you this cup and I would like for you to go to the bathroom and try and get a urine sample if you can. I just need to rule out anything that could be in your system that could be preventing pregnancy, like an infection of any kind. Oh, right. You took the cup from her and left to get a sample. 10 minutes later you returned with the small cup filled with urine. Great, the doctor said, taking it from you and getting out a dipstick that would tell her if there was anything amiss. She placed the cup down on the counter and undid the lid and then put one stick in and retrieved another one to test something else. She waited for a while and then pulled the first stick out and compared its colour to a colour chart and the second stick out and compared it to something else. Then she stopped. This sample that you have given me has shown something, she said as she checked and double-checked her markers. What's that? You asked nervously, thinking that you might have an infection of some kind. According to this, it says you're pregnant. Sorry, what? Shit, seriously? Dabi asked, grabbing the arm of the chair and leaning forward expectantly. Yes, the doctor confirmed. You're pregnant. Oh my God, Dabi exclaimed as he looked at you and you looked at him. We did it, you said numbly, staring into his eyes as the realization hit you. You're going to be a dad. He turned in his chair and engulfed you in a hug as you burst into tears of relief and shock. The doctor finished up her tests and sat down and then wrote something down and handed you a piece of paper. You will need to have a blood test to confirm your pregnancy, she said with a smile. We have a lab on site here, so you're welcome to have the blood test today, and they'll have the results to you in a few days. You were still in a daze and thanked her, and then took the paper, and you and Dabi left. The ride home after the blood test was filled with chatter, tears, and disbelief, and that night you fell asleep thinking about your new life ahead as a mum while you snuggled into Dabi's side. The next chapter of your life had begun. The results of your blood test came back a few days later and confirmed that yes, you were pregnant, and you broke down in happy tears again. It was surreal, really. Also, that same day you got an email outlining the graduation ceremony that would be held next month, so there was a lot going on. Babe! You called down the stairs a week or so later as you made your way down to him. I'm going to go buy some baby clothes. You want to come? Do we even know what we're having? He shouted from the kitchen. No, but according to the day that we had sex, they said that it was a 50% chance of it being a boy. They? Who's they? Dabi cackled. What would they know about this? I got it from a website, okay? You said defensively, annoyed by Dabi's laughter at you as you entered the kitchen. He saw that he had put you in a mood and apologised quickly. Sorry, I just... He burst out laughing again. Shut up! Okay, that's it, I'm out, you said with a scowl, turning and marching back up the stairs. Baby, he called, still laughing. Come back. But you were on a mission to get away from him as quickly as possible and stomped up the stairs quicker. Come on, he chuckled, chasing you and grabbing you gently from behind. I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry. Sorry doesn't cut it, you said in a quivering voice, early pregnancy hormones starting to get to you already. Hey, he asked with confusion. Why are you crying? What's wrong? You're what's wrong, you snapped sadly, tears watering up your vision. You're making fun of me. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. You're making fun of me looking up the potential gender of our baby and laughing at me. What's wrong with me looking up stuff? You're just being an ass. Leave me alone. I'm sorry, okay? I didn't know you were going to get so upset about this. It's really not that much of a deal, he replied, trying to use logic to calm you down. But all it did was get you angrier. Can you just stop? You barked, pushing his hands off you and storming into the room and then slamming the door closed. Whoa, what the hell? He thought with surprise and a little annoyance at you being unreasonable. Okay, whatever. And off he turned to go back downstairs. His backside had just hit the seat when you came sobbing into the room, and he stood up in confusion. What is it? He asked, giving you a worried look. You don't love me anymore, you wailed. What the hell? How'd you come by that? Of course I still love you. You just walked away. You didn't come and snuggle me when I slammed the bedroom door on you, you sobbed. But you slammed the door on me and told me to go away, he rebutted. But you're supposed to chase me and cuddle me, you sobbed. What the hell? Okay, I'll chase you and I'll cuddle you. You run. He pointed out the door, still super confused by all this. No, I don't want to run, you moaned, still in tears. What do you want? I want my favourite food, you suddenly said, stopping mid-cry and wiping your eyes. I want some. I'm going to get some. Are you coming with? Wait, what? I thought you wanted to... Okay, never mind. Yeah, I'm coming. I'm not letting you out of my sight, you weirdo. You're so emotional right now. God. I still want food. I don't care if you're going to stop me. I'll fight you. No, hell no, I'm not stopping you. Let's go, quick, he said, ducking past you to get the keys for the car. I'll drive. And that's what it was like for the first few months of pregnancy for you. You then had your graduation ceremony, and you continued on at the store while Dabi played volleyball professionally, and your little belly grew and grew. By 5 months of pregnancy, you were starting to show a little bit, but if you wore baggy clothes, you could still hide it pretty well, and so you would switch it up, sometimes wearing tight clothes to show off your bump, and other times wearing baggy-ass clothes to conceal everything. Your parents were excited for you and Dabi. You suspected that they were mostly relieved that you had waited until you had at least finished your studies, and Ray was delighted to know that she had a grandchild on the way. Are we going to find out the gender? You asked Dabi as he drove you to the 20-week scan. Yeah, if you want to, he replied. I'm easy. I want to know so that I can plan ahead with names and clothes and stuff, he replied. I already have some names picked out. Oh, yeah? He asked idly, putting his indicator on to turn right at the lights. Yeah, so if it's a girl, you lifted up your hand and started curling fingers down as you listed them one by one. Koemi, Zuimu, Nagi... Whoa, hey, wait, Dabi said as he followed the car in front around the corner and straightened up on the road. What if I like a few names? Okay, well, what names do you like? They better be serious names, you warned. Oh, boy names. Are they legitimate names? I have names. Dabi. Richard Fungus. Oh, for the love of God. What the hell is... Shortened to Dick Fungus. It was then that you burst out laughing and spent the rest of the car ride there wiping your eyes from tears of laughter. Unfortunately, every time you'd look at Dabi, you'd remember Dick Fungus and burst out laughing again. And by the time you made it to the office, you were exhausted from the fits of giggles that you had just had. Dabi helped you out of the car and walked you to the door of the building and then opened the door for you to enter first. Look at you being chivalrous, you commented slyly to him. He was on his best behaviour that day, but not best enough to spank you on the backside as you walked past him up to the desk. Hi, you said to the lady at the desk, trying to act like you hadn't just been smacked on the ass in public. We've got an appointment today for Richard Fungus. Dabi cut in, making you wheeze with laughter again while he stood there looking at the receptionist with a goofy grin on his face. I'm sorry, we don't have a... I'm missing, he then announced. It's Yunlin for the 2 p.m. appointment. Oh, yes, thank you. Please take a seat and you'll be called when the doctor's ready, she said, giving you a side glance while you tried to compose yourself. Go on, Mrs. Fungus, let's go, Dabi said to you, taking your arm to walk you off to the side. You wheezed another laugh out while he took you and sat you down, and then you both waited to be called in. The doctor was on time, surprisingly, and so you were in within the next few minutes and set up on the ultrasound table so you could take some scans of your little bub. How have you been, Miss Lynn? He asked as he placed the probe on your belly. Good, you replied. No issues. Bub moves a lot? He asked, looking at the screen as your little one wriggled and rolled inside your tummy. Yes, I feel a lot of little kicks and bumps, you said with a smile. Dabi had gone very quiet and was just sitting there with his intense blue eyes staring at the screen while the doctor did his job. Now, today we're counting fingers and toes and basically checking into that everything is in working order, but would you also like to find out the gender of Bub? Yes, please. Your enthusiasm made him smile. Okay, we have a good opportunity to look now as baby has their legs wide open. Like Daddy, Dabi commented from the chair. Sits like a boss. And it looks like a little girl, the doctor said. Oh, a girl, you gasped, looking excitedly at Dabi, who had gone very quiet again and had bitten his teeth together, which you could tell by the way his jaw muscles had flexed and popped out. He didn't look at you, and you got worried for a second as he became hard to read. Babe, you whispered to him. He looked at you. You okay? You mouthed. He nodded rapidly, and you gave him a quizzical look. This wasn't like him. Was he really okay? The rest of the consult with the doctor was basically you and him talking, while Dabi sat quietly and watched, and a few times you pointed questions towards him, but he didn't engage, so you carried the conversation instead. At the end of the scan, and with a clean bill of health for you and Bub, you left, still concerned about Dabi's quietness. Is Dabi Dabs okay? We'll find out in the next chapter, chapter 64, coming tomorrow. I'll see you then.